Alright, what's going on everybody? So this is the final update video about the whole Area 51 raid thing going on, well that did go on. So it finally happened, the day passed, and I've kind of waited to kind of let everything kind of soak in, kind of let all the arrest news and let all the information kind of gather so I can actually talk about what happened. And not just kind of miss anything, so I have to make another video about it, because this is like the fourth video now that I've done about this, and honestly, I want to be over it. But it wouldn't really make sense for me to do 3 videos about the topic, and then the time that it actually comes, and people, you know, show up and do the whole thing, for me to not talk about it. So yeah, people showed up at Area 51. People showed up in the area of Area 51. People were arrested, and overall, well, I guess, I was kind of wrong, because initially I kind of thought that nobody would show up, and then I kind of figured that only a few people would show up, but I'm still kind of shocked at how many people total showed up for this whole event, because, you know, it wasn't just like the whole raid or whatever, the raid Area 51 thing that happened. There was like festivals and stuff in the local area that also took place, and it kind of surprised me how many people actually turned out for these things, because honestly, it's like, it is just an internet meme at the end of the day, so it did surprise me that people actually cared enough to, you know, travel however far they traveled to, you know, show up for this real raid of a government, like this government complex, basically. Like, oh, we're gonna raid Area 51, we're gonna raid a military base. One of the most guarded places in the country. They have publicly announced that they will use lethal force to guard the place. And even if you're not gonna do that, like, people are actually gonna show up to these festivals in the area and stuff like that. Like, it was actually kind of surprising to me. Even then, I do want to say, thankfully, I guess, nobody was killed. Nobody, I guess, was hurt, as far as I understand. And well, through the entire thing, I guess it was just harmless fun. Kinda like I predicted, though. Well, I mean, if you looked at a lot of these news articles, and if you listened to the way the people in the area of, like, Rachel, Nevada reacted when this whole thing was going down, in the days coming to the Area 51 raid on September 20th, you would have thought that it was definitely going to be worse than what it actually was. You would have thought, oh my god, like tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people are going to descend on the area and just destroy the place. Well, in total, only like 150 people actually quote-unquote raided Area 51. So, at the front gates of Area 51, only, yeah, about 150 to 200 people, according to official reports, actually showed up at the gates of Area 51. Which, when you compare it to the over 1 million people who signed up to the Facebook event to go and raid Area 51 to see them aliens, yeah, you can say the turnout wasn't very good. I mean, if you had a brain, you could kind of see that one coming from 1.5 miles away. It's almost like the whole thing was a joke on the internet in the first place, and nobody was, like, legitimately planning to, like, storm into the complex, except for a couple people who couldn't tell that it was an internet joke, and those people are just blatantly stupid, and they deserve the charges that they got. We'll talk about that here in a second, but it was ridiculous. Like, we talked about this in the last couple videos. Like, there was a bunch of news articles. There was, like, a state of emergency declared in the area. Like, these counties that Area 51 was, like, around, like, the area, had declared a state of emergency. These cities were declaring state of emergencies because they legitimately thought that people were, like, possibly gonna die, and they thought that, like, thousands of people were gonna show up and, like, destroy property, and they thought the military was, like, gonna start killing people. Like, I never honestly thought it was gonna get that bad. Like, I thought maybe, at the worst, somebody would get shot by somebody at Area 51, like, they would cross the gates, make a run for it or something, and somebody might get capped. But I never saw, like, 250,000 people just like Naruto running the gates of Area 51 and just like chaos breaking out. So it was peaceful for the most part. A couple people did get arrested for trespassing. Apparently they tried to actually cross the gates into Area 51. They were arrested by the police. I don't know how stupid you have to actually be. They weren't playing around when they said, hey, you can't go into a restricted area. This is government property. Don't try to go into Area 51. That is against the law. Apparently, they thought they had to try and impress these total strangers at the Storm Area 51 event, and they I guess, tried to do it, probably for social media clout, let's be honest. You know how idiots are these days, man. Oh, I can get, 150 retweets on Twitter if I cross this gate. But apparently the atmosphere there was actually pretty nice. According to what people are saying, even like the police who were on staff and whatnot were actually laughing and having a good time. It wasn't tense. The guards weren't like pointing guns at the crowd or anything. They were laughing and joking with them. They weren't like taking it super serious. I mean, they did their job when they had to. They enforced the law when it came down to people actually trespassing and trying to cross the gate, but as long as people just, kept it as a silly internet joke at the gates of Area 51, everything was okay.
Yeah, I want to.
Have you guys had any interaction with the outside world?
Today, no. Yesterday, also no. Well, kinda. We had some weird dreams the night before.
They feel like it's because they're so close to the facility that they're getting all this interference. One lady believed that her parents is actually aliens. You had one lady that said that she allegedly worked at Area 51, and she knows this stuff to be true. So a lot of people with conflicting experiences,
Let me ask this.
Some people just want to drink and have a good time.
Lawrence, thank you.
Anyways, there was also a festival nearby that apparently attracted around 1,500 people, which sounds like a lot, but honestly, it's not a whole lot of people. I mean, there's a lot of festivals and stuff that you would think of that attract, ridiculous amounts of people. But even then, for something like this, something out in the middle of the desert, out in the middle of nowhere. You gotta think, Rachel, Nevada, Area 51, it's in the middle of nowhere. Like, the nearest gas station is like 50 miles away. They don't even have a gas station where they live. It's insane. Like, their only hotel, the Alien or whatever, has like 13 rooms. It's like a scene in the cartoons or whatever where like the little tumbleweed rolls through in the establishing shot. This is in the middle of nowhere, and 1,500 people showed up for this festival. I have to say, for what it is, I'm kind of impressed. I mean, they pulled a lot more people than I expected into the whole thing, and in reality, the people behind it probably made themselves a decent amount of money. Because, I mean, they have no competition out there. It's not like there's like a whole bunch. They can't go to a McDonald's out in Rachel, Nevada and get food. They literally sell everything there. All the food, the necessities, the shelter, everything is sold by the people in this city to these, 1,500? Well, I mean, if you count the other people, if they stayed there, in total 1,700 possibly people who were there in the area? They probably made a pretty decent amount of money. Much more than they would have if this whole thing never happened, I guess. Now, in total during Alien Stock, which was the name of this festival, apparently only 7 arrests were made, while only 2 were actually made at Area 51. Kinda surprising. I thought a lot more arrests would actually be made there. I mean, logically, think about that one. Like, which do you think would have more arrests? People literally trying to apparently raid a government facility, or just some music festival? But apparently 7 people got arrested, 4 of them were booked and released with citations, and according to statistics, the biggest danger in the area was nearby car accidents. It wasn't even like the raid or the festival. So this whole time, this whole thing has been hyped up, oh my god, millions of people online have been talking about this event. It's gonna be so dangerous to this community. Whatever will we do? These poor little towns will never be able to handle all these people. Hundreds of thousands of people could actually show up, maybe just thousands, and they're actually gonna do it. This might not be a joke. They might actually try to raid Area 51 and actually try to hurt people. And it turns out that it was just an internet meme. And it turns out that the media just didn't understand. Like, it's ridiculous. So this whole time it was getting hyped up as something that it totally wasn't. Like, people were getting all scared. Like, they were just kind of nervously looking over like, oh. And it turns out that people on the internet just making a joke and people on the internet just making a meme out of Area 51 to see them aliens, they weren't actually trying to hurt anybody. It's magical, man. It's mysterious, right? So that's pretty much the update on this whole thing. Last video I'm gonna make on this. Nothing major should happen after this. Nobody, thankfully, was killed throughout this entire thing. I was kind of expecting if more people showed up for someone to be killed, I'm not gonna lie, but people are kind of stupid. I was figuring somebody was actually going to make a full-on run for it, and, you know, they would have to shoot them. Thankfully, everything went pretty smoothly, and nobody got hurt. Well, people got arrested, but I don't really consider that being hurt, because if you're stupid enough to do something like that to yourself, you deserve to be in jail, and you deserve to have that charge put on yourself. So, thank you for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new, follow me over on Twitter at @SubToOptimus. I post memes, thoughts, and updates. Thank you to these channel members. Your channel support, well, your support helps my channel tremendously. Can't even talk anymore, the aliens got my brains. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, I guess, raiding Area 52, and signing out.